Welcome to Key Knife's instructional video for conducting a knife change on your key knife planer heads. While watching the video, you may want to follow along with the instructions found in Chapter 3 and Appendix G of your system manual. Gray banners on the bottom of the screen will indicate the sequence being reviewed. The use of a hard hat, protective glasses, hearing protection, and cut-proof gloves is recommended when working on the cutter heads. Follow your mill's documented lockout-tagout procedures for the planer if you are changing knives in the machine. In order to conduct a proper knife change, you will need the following tools: T-handle torque wrench set to 30 foot-pounds, T-handle wrench, 5/16 hex bit socket, air nozzle, wire brush, and pick. Before you get started, mount the key knife side head to the arbor stand. Blow down the heads to remove any wood fiber from the knife pockets. Loosen the gib screws in the first pocket with the T-handle wrench. Remove the knife by sliding it out of the head. Once all the knives have been removed, blow any debris out of the pockets. Use a pick to clean out any fiber that remains. Slide the new knife onto the gib key with the unused edge facing out. Confirm the knife is locked onto the key of the gib. Pinch the knife so it sits flush to the top and bottom of the head and snug the gib screw. Do not torque the gib screw at this time. Repeat this procedure with all the remaining pockets, then rotate the head and visually inspect all pockets to ensure the knives are all correctly locked on the gib keyway. Once new knives have been installed in the side head, they need to be aligned along the radius edges for even cutting. To do this, set up the key knife radius gauge to the head so that the tip is parallel to the straight edge of the knife and sits between the two radiuses. Rotate the head and adjust any knives that are not properly aligned to the radius gauge tip. Tap the end of any knives that need to be adjusted until they are all aligned correctly. Torque the gib screws once all the knives are aligned. Key Knife recommends a torque of 30 foot-pounds. Using a wire brush or scraping tool, clean the top and bottom of the knife. Removing dirt and debris from the top of the knives and keyways will ensure clean knives will seat and clamp properly in the cutter heads. Once new knives are installed, they need to be jointed to establish a true cutting circle and true radius profile. Key Knife recommends starting with an 80 grit stone with a K or L hardness. To get started, confirm the stone is formed to the exact shape of the knife. To do this, position the stone against the knife radius and carefully rotate a knife against the stone, shaving off a little of the stone at a time. Continue shaving the stone until the exact radius profile of the knife is transferred to both sides of the stone. Once the profile is confirmed in the stone, back the stone away from the knives a half turn. Unlock the machine and turn on the motor for the side head following your mill's documented procedures, and let the head come up to full speed. Slowly turn the stone into the knives until you get a spark. Carefully move the stone to the first knife radius until you see a slight spark from the radius of the knife. Pass the stone up to the second knife radius. It is critical to move the stone slowly into the radius, just until you see a light spark along the entire radius, and no more. Pass the stone back to the starting position and turn it down slightly, about an eighth to quarter turn. Repeat the process for 1 or 2 more passes until you have achieved a consistent spark throughout the pass. A common mistake to watch out for is hitting the radius too aggressively with the stone or by not having the proper profile to begin with. This can result in joining out the radius and shortening knife life. When done, back the stone away from the knives and turn off the motor and lock out the machine per your mill's documented procedures. Rotate the head and visually inspect the knives. Confirm that all the knives show at least a fine joining line. Joining is required whenever new knives are installed in the planer. Jointing frequency during operation will vary from mill to mill for optimal results. When done properly, frequent joining will maintain a sharp and clean edge on the knives, which prolongs knife life. As a general rule, side heads are lightly jointed once per shift. For more information on knife changes and joining, see Chapter 3 and Appendix G of your system manual. Contact your Key Knife account manager if you have additional questions or concerns.